Welcome. This is Stats XL10, and you guys should have access to, when you registered for the course, you should have access to our course webpage, which is through My UCLA Extension. I hope that's correct, right? So everyone should be able to access. Okay, so that when you registered, you should have received an email with kind of your information to log in and how to access all of that. Then, okay, and so let's just talk a little bit about how the course is structured and set up. Okay. So on the web page, you'll see things broken down. It'll say week 1 and week 2, and this is a 12-week course. So actually, it'll go through week 10, and I don't think I add anything. Week 11 is a review, and week 12 is the final exam. So you have up through week 10. Each week, I've posted kind of some homework problems as well as some solutions for the homework problems. So we'll take a look at that. So when you click the homework, it will say you need to read these sections in the textbook, and you need to answer these homework problems from the textbook as well. Okay, and then there will oops, that's the wrong link. And then there's another link that says solution videos for the homework. So for many, not all of the homework problems, but for many of them, I've recorded some answers or solutions for the homework. And that's so you can kind of check to make sure you're doing it correctly, or if you get stuck and you really can't figure it out, you can take a peek at that. I put these solution videos to help you learn. I don't want them to turn into a hindrance for your learning, and what I mean by that is when you try out the homework problem and you get stuck, it's best if you're able to figure it out yourself rather than just looking at me answer the question, because if you see me answer the question, it always feels like it makes sense and you're fine. But when you come and take a quiz or a test, you're on your own. You don't have solution videos for you. Let's take a look at some of the course policies. There's the course syllabus, which is kind of by the school or the universities asking. It's very long, and so the welcome and readme is kind of like the condensed version of the syllabus. So we'll just take a look at that here. So we'll start off. Let me magnify this a little bit. We'll have a midterm and final exam in our class, and so please make sure you've marked these dates in your calendar and that you're able to attend class on those days. Okay, try not to schedule anything so you've known in advance these. You will need the textbook for the class. The textbook looks like this. Okay, they have like different versions of the textbook. Ones where it's just like a 3-hole paper punch, and they have the digital version and all sorts of stuff. You just need the text. Okay, I think you can go on Amazon and rent it for about $20-30 for the quarter. Okay, maybe yes, you gotta maybe pay a little bit more, but I think it's available for rent for fairly a good price. You don't need MyStatLab or any of the extra, like some of it comes with access to websites and things like that. You don't need any of that. Okay, it doesn't need to be new. The first or second edition, I have homework problem sets kind of for both the first and second edition. So either one is fine there, okay? You will also need a calculator, all right? And so I strongly recommend getting at least a scientific calculator. So the calculator that I use in person looks something like this, okay? I have a calculator emulator on the screen that looks like this. You can get this calculator for about $15 on Amazon, okay? And so, you know, compared to the price of this course, it's not very much, okay? And it will make a great difference in, I think, in your performance if you have a good calculator versus a not good one, okay? You're not allowed to use your cell phones, and if you have a graphing calculator already, that's more than adequate. You don't need, you know, if you spent $100 for a calculator in some other class, you don't need to go out and buy another calculator. That's fine. But, you know, every now and then I see students trying to take an exam using a calculator that looks like it came out of their kitchen drawer or something. Just spend $15 to get one of these calculators, and it will definitely make your life better, okay? Or at least in this class. So I have a few recommendations here. You can use any of these links if you want. You don't have to get these. One calculator that I recommend against is the business calculator. So there's like a TI, what is it? It's like the BA2 or something like that. It's like a business analyst calculator. It's not ideal for this class because it does a few things that are a little bit odd. Well, not odd, but it does fixed decimals, and it ends up causing more problems. So I recommend against that one, okay? We'll talk about the exams as the dates for the exams approach. There's a midterm and there's a final, and we'll talk about that. There's going to be a quiz pretty much every single week except for the weeks where we have a midterm and final, and the week immediately after the midterm exam, okay? Just because during week 6 you'll take the midterms, I have nothing new to cover, and so there's no quiz to give you on week 7. But all of the other weeks you have a quiz, so that's going to be a total of 8 quizzes, all right? And at the end of the quarter, I'm going to drop the lowest quiz grade, all right? And so we'll take the remaining 7 quizzes and average those together, and that will make your quiz grade, okay? As far as grading goes, it's going to be 5% homework, 5% attendance, okay? 30% quizzes, 30% midterm, and 30% final, okay? So the midterm and final exams are worth a significant portion of your grade, so make sure you are in good shape for the midterm and final, okay? So, and as far as attendance goes, on a few arbitrarily chosen days, I'll take attendance. You have to be present to get credit for attendance, okay? So even if you have a good reason for missing class, okay? So even if you have a good reason for missing class, if you're not here, I can't give you the attendance point, okay? If you have a good reason for missing class, then I am willing to give you a makeup quiz, or you can contact the UCLA Extension Office for a makeup quiz. If you have a good reason for missing class, you can make up the quiz. But as far as attendance goes, if you've missed class, you've missed class, and you're not going to get points for attendance. I generally take attendance at the end of class too, okay? Because almost everyone will get here on time for the quiz, but sometimes students leave during the break, which would generally take around 8:30ish. Sometimes students leave there, so I take attendance at the end of class, just to let you guys know. Okay, are there any questions on the structure of the class? Okay, then let's see. Okay, and then I am recording what's happening on the screen of my computer, and so I will post this video on YouTube, and I'll put the link under the week 1 module, and so you can review the lecture at your own time if that's something you want to do. Okay, if you don't want to watch the video again, there's no need, you don't have to, but sometimes you know, we meet once a week for 3 hours at a time, and so I know some of you get tired after a couple hours of content, and so, you know, if you want to review the second half or just certain sections at your own time, you can do that. You can. And the nice thing about YouTube is you can fast forward, or you can change the speed and things like that to just make sure you have everything. I take, you know, I write on the kind of this digital whiteboard here, and I will save the notes from here, and I'll post them online as well. And so, you know, everyone learns differently, and so if you learn better by taking notes, please take notes. If you learn better by sitting back and just watching, feel free to sit back and watch. Just know that you are responsible for everything that's covered, and you can always refer back to the notes that I've posted online to make sure your notes are complete as well. Okay. Occasionally the computer glitches out and I'm unable to post a video or unable to post the notes or something. So just, it hasn't happened for a while, but sometimes it happens. So okay, let me see. Oh, so yeah, next week you will have a quiz, and information about next week's quiz is available right here. Okay, and there's a practice quiz that I've posted along with answers to the practice quiz. I suggest you do the practice quiz and check the practice quiz after you have done the homework. Okay, so definitely look at the practice quiz and try it out, but I would suggest you do that at the end. I know some students go straight to the practice quiz, and I think students who do that end up cheating themselves out of an opportunity to test their understanding. Okay, so the practice quiz is just kind of there to make sure you understand it. You know, you would not sit in driver's ed and then go immediately to take your driver's exam, right? You do some practice, and that's what the purpose of the homework is for. Okay. Before we get started, I want to say a few things about kind of the prereqs for this class. You're expected to have taken, you know, a few years of math prior to this and to have mastered algebra. And I know some of you that might not be the case, okay? And I know for some of you, you are taking this class because if you were to try to take statistics at your own college, you would have had to take maybe 3 or 4 more classes, or, you know, a bunch of other classes prior to this one. And so, you know, by taking this class, you might be able to avoid all of that. And that strategy has worked for some, but many students have also tried that and have failed because, in my opinion, they did not have the appropriate math background necessary to do well in this course, okay? And so, you know, if that sounds like you, just be forewarned that this may not be the best strategy to take, and it is, you know, expensive to take this class and fail. So, you know, I don't like seeing students fail, but I do have to be fair in my grading, and I do have a responsibility to the university to make sure that everyone who passes the class has a working understanding of the subject matter, okay? And so, so I just want to say that. And in fact, to kind of just give you an idea of, maybe are you adequately prepared or not for this class, I do have this kind of this preliminary test, okay? So we'll pass this out and we'll give you guys about 15 minutes to take this quiz. This does not count for your grade, okay? Whether you get 100% on it or 0% on it, it will not affect your grade, okay? I will post the scores of this and you'll see it in the grade book, but you'll also see that the weight for this grade item is 0%, okay? Whereas the other things are weighted according to what they are in the syllabus. The grade for this is weighted 0%. So again, it doesn't help nor hurt your grade. No calculator. There's no sense in trying to cheat on this thing. It's really so you get a sense of where you stand in your math background here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put a break in the video here, and then we'll after the quiz we'll get started with the course content.